Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Concert Junkies, Rob and John. Oh yeah.
And we're live.
What up?
What's going on?
Not much, man.
So would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, man. We're the Enemy Within. I'm Corey. I play drums and currently guitar. And
I'm Ariana. I'm the singer.
And I'm Daniel. I play bass.
And I'm Michelle, fellow concert junkie.
nice to meet you guys. Thank y'all again for having us on. We really appreciate it.
No problem. First question, how'd you get your name?
That's for y'all, man. Y'all had that before I even joined. I think it's something about a Rush song.
Yeah, it is a Rush song, actually. Well, me and him, we first met February of last year. We're just hanging out, writing, and decided to start a band, and then started flipping through a bunch of stuff that inspired us, and that was one of the things that came up, so we stuck with that.
And it just so happens to also work out that a lot of our songs end up being about kind of, internal conflict and stuff like that. So The Enemy Within ended up being a pretty apropos name for, what we ended up writing about. So it's funny, we actually tried to change it. We were trying for before we put our first single out, because you don't want to rebrand after you put out music. We tried for a solid 3-4 weeks to just sit around and try to come up with something, and nothing. Every cool sounding metal band name you can think of was taken back in 1985. So.
So can I jump in for a second?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I actually had the pleasure of seeing you guys back in November at Furnace 41. Now I'm all the way from New Jersey. I'm all the way from Jersey, so I flew down for that show. Big supporters of Varsity. So my girlfriend and I, we flew down and checked you guys out, and I have to say, very impressed. Mannequin on the stage. We were in the other room, and we were told we had to come check this band out, and you guys totally blew it out of the water without your guitarist. And I'd love to hear more about the backstory of that night, because we were all super impressed.
Yeah, well, funny story. We had some shows lined up. Our guitarist had some personal issues he had to go take care of. He had to go up north to, do some family related stuff. And we thought we had the date for when he was going to leave. Cause he wasn't the one making the plans for this arrangement. So he didn't have a whole lot of control over it. So we thought that we were going to have him for all the shows until the end of the year. And then about a week and a half, actually it was when we played the Skylark Lounge in North Carolina. In Charlotte? But we played the Skylark Lounge in Charlotte, and he ended up actually leaving that night. And that was about a week and a half before the Furnace 41 show. So in that week, we literally had to, I play guitar in the band as well. And we literally had to sit down and re-record all the guitar for our entire set. And get it synced to tracks and put all the effects in there.
Didn't work out the entire time. The tracks shit out 3 times. There was a couple of times where Frank the mannequin fucked up, and it just wasn't good.
It was nice having the mannequin on stage though, because if you're playing to backing tracks and they fuck up, then you kind of just have to throw your hands up and go, sorry guys, technology sucks. But when you have a mannequin on stage, you can just make her go, hey everyone, say fuck you,
Blame
Frank.
him.
Yeah, Frank's such an asshole, man. He's so stoic, but he can't even play his parts right.
It was definitely a spur of the moment thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just being we got to put something there because we didn't want to play.
It was
the
a
tracks
good call.
Yeah,
because it was already weird because we really didn't want to even do it, but we don't want to not play the show.
Yeah,
so it was the
right.
alternative is fill the space. Something can be there to be interacted with, and their house had mannequins in it. So a mannequin.
And everyone was digging it. You guys did a hell of a job. It was a great show.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, that was a fun thing. That ended up being, we joked about it. We told our guitarist, we were like, man, we might keep him around even after you come back. We might just He does take up a little bit of space in the car though, so
yeah.
that's a problem. Daniel had to ride with Frank's feet on his head for like the 2 hours to Jonesboro. So
It sucked.
yeah,
Wow. That was a great show.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad you came down and saw it, man. We were in good form that night. Frank was very tight for the most part. It's hard
Varsity
to
killed it too.
yeah. Varsity was fucking sick.
And Silent Trust too.
And Silent Trust,
Yeah.
man. They were
Mhm.
all the bands on that bill were absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It was a great night.
yeah. The who was it? Varsity that played in the same room as us, or who was it?
It was
That
Silent
That was
Trust.
Silent Trust played in the
Yeah,
same. Yeah,
Silent Trust was in the same room. Hmm
yeah. I remember talking to their singer out back, and just being like, "Hey, what's good, man? I'll see y'all set or whatever." And then he got in there and started singing. I was just,
Yeah.
holy shit, dude! Where the fuck did that come from? Like that didn't make no sense.
Speaking of bills, who would you want to be on your bill?
Oh God, like
Dream.
Dream,
Oh,
like Dream Bill or like Realistic Bill?
You could do both.
Realistic Candescence.
Yeah, Realistic Bill would definitely be Candescent because they're the homies. I got some homies in a band called Battle of Heart and Mind. They're from Atlanta.
Oh, they're sick.
They're fucking sick.
They're nasty.
Yeah, man. Funnily enough, another band from Atlanta called there's one called Candescent, and then there's a band called Cascadent that I'm also friends with. The singer of my old band used to sing for their band, and we're good friends with them. But they're all like super sick, and that would be a cool like that'd be a cool varied bill because they're more like math rock kind of thing. We're more, I don't know what the fuck we are really, but Incandescent's like beat down hardcore and shit like that. As far as a dream bill,
Gojira, Ginger.
Yeah.
Ginger for sure.
I mean, anything in
Tool.
that realm.
We-
If I
Tool.
could prime Tool, I would go for like Tool in 2007. Like, they have their whole thing now, and like art piece or whatever, and I still love it. But definitely like maybe prime Tool. But
Lamb of God. I'd like to do a show with Lamb of God. They
that'd
blow
be out of the box, but I would.
Yeah.
Do
They'd
it.
blow us out of the fucking water, but it'd be cool. Yeah, man, that's a good question. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have that problem sooner
Box.
rather than Spirit Box. Yeah, that's another one.
That's a realistic one. They just finally got that big show with Limp Bizkit last year.
Mhm.
I was happy for them.
Yeah, man, that's hellacious exposure. Hell, Limp Bizkit. I'm gonna add them to the fucking. I'm gonna add them to the list too, man. I want to go out there and hang out with Dad Fred. That's fucking awesome.
Corn.
Yeah.
Corn, yeah. Any of those old school like turn of the 2000s, like new metal bands are like huge influences. Even if
Deftones too.
Deftones, yeah, that's
Oh,
another
dude.
one.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah,
something that would change it for me. Yeah.
damn, it's starting to look like that fucking flyer that everybody's been sharing recently. That when we were young fest or whatever, that's got like every band from
Yeah.
1999 to 2005 on it. Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
man.
would call that a good list. Oh, thank you, Brooke
Yeah.
and
I
Mac.
see Pickles on there too.
What's up, Pickles?
Yeah, we got a couple homies in the chat.
So I've been really digging Omen. Is there any other plans to drop some new singles or
Yes,
for
we
Spotify
are.
or?
Yeah, we are currently working on a song called "Circle of Rats," and it's actually featuring the vocalist from Candescent, Braden.
Okay.
Nice.
But yeah, it was funny. Omen basically happened before I ever got in the band. Like it was already probably 75% written.
We didn't have a drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we got that one, and we literally just kind of recorded that as it was and didn't change a whole lot of stuff. And I mixed it and produced it myself. And then we just put it out to have really just to have something in the EPK that we could start sending to venues, to just give them an idea that like, hey, we have our shit together. We're competent, for the most part, depending on the day. But but it's funny because Omen really, it's not the best indication of what we probably sound like. It's a little more straightforward, like hardcore metal, whereas like we're definitely blending a little more avant-garde, psychedelic-y kind of shit, as well as like the new single with Braden. He's doing dirty vocals on it, like he's doing full-on like death growls and shit. So that one's gonna be interesting.
It just took us a while. We had us finally getting to work together, and multiple
the
days,
sound we
hours.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah, we finally kind of gotten to the point where there's a template for the sound that we all identify with
Mhm.
instead of it just being something that we had to perform. But yeah, definitely getting stuff out a lot sooner than later.
Yeah.
Rats being the first thing.
That should actually be
Awesome.
Hopefully, we're going to be submitting that to DistroKid here within the next 2-3 weeks, probably.
And there's
Okay.
6 other tracks
Awesome.
that already demoed out.
Can't wait to hear it.
Tweak up a little bit, and we'll have those
Yeah.
hopefully coming out one after the other.
Yeah, we got a ton of music. We've been writing a shitload, so, and we're really happy with how the new stuff's coming out. So I think everybody's going to really dig it.
Are you planning on doing a music video, like a real music video?
For Rats, probably.
It won't be. It probably won't be like. What do you mean, like a live playthrough type thing?
Like a real, I mean, not a lyric video, like a real video.
We were talking about doing, and he's already been in works of making a lyric video, so that we have something like that, and maybe doing something. But I don't know. We're all so dorky. We don't really tend to have like the I don't know. We don't have the bravado. Not that we wouldn't ever do it, but we don't really have that sense of being like, oh, let's do a music video and go shoot it here and do it in this setting. We're more like, we'll go do a lyric video or do a video that pertains to that, and then go do a live session of it or a playthrough of it. So you can see how it's played.
And that's budget constraints too, because like
Yeah,
we have shitloads of ideas for music videos. Like we have, but
We're not even a year in yet.
Yeah.
So we're just working on writing and then getting our music out to the public and then
yeah.
going from there, really.
But yeah, man, I'm all the time sitting down thinking of just like crazy shit that would be like amazing, that would fit the vibe of the song perfectly. And then I start doing research, and then I start like adding up money that I don't have. And I'm like, oh shit, man, that's looking at $5,000, just for props and shit, not even paying somebody to come film it and all that. So we're we brand ourselves as aggressively DIY. So like any video footage, any like video content that you see from us, like the teaser trailer for Omen and like all that type of stuff, we make every bit of that in house. We don't outsource anything,
Nice.
which, I'd like to say that it's because we're just so fucking badass, but it's actually just because we're broke. It's actually just because we can't fucking afford to pay anybody, and I'm not about to ask a fellow creative to work for free. You know what I mean? So we just bite the bullet and do it ourselves. A lot of late nights and a lot of coffee, but
Yeah, man. Hear a lot of people doing that these days. It's the way to go.
yeah, man, you can just that's like he was asking us if we were signed to any kind of label or anything, any kind of agreement like that. It's like, I wouldn't turn it down if it was offered, depending on the situation, just to have some of that extraneous support until, we'd be more interested in something like that for the promotional aspect of it, as opposed to like, them financing a project for us or something like that. Because I've always been in the camp of like, man, if you get that record deal and they offer you that big advance or whatever, not that they offer metal bands big advances anymore, because, who would do that? But, take half of it and then just put the other half in a box somewhere and give it back to them, That's what ends up screwing people. But yeah, like I said, that's another problem we hope to have. I hope we have to turn down label offers. That'd be great.
Any upcoming shows?
It's funny.
Maybe
We're
something
actually
up the Northeast. Anything Northeast?
We were talking about. I can't say that it would be like the first part of the year, but we were talking about like going up to Virginia and doing some shows with Dying Oath. Because Daniel's kind of homies with them, or like acquaintances at least. And he talks to them. So they were one of the ones that messaged us about the We're not going to mention the name of the festival because I
already know.
Yeah, you already know. But at any rate, there was this whole thing a while back. It was a funny story. They put out a poll for a slot at this festival that they were putting on, and there was a band that was very much in the lead, and we were nowhere to be found on the list. And we just absolutely smashed it out of the fucking park with promo. We messaged everyone we knew. Ari got banned off of Facebook Messenger from DMing so many people. Like my mom was DMing people that she hadn't talked, like friends from high school that she hadn't talked to. And
Leo doing that on
Yeah.
YouTube too.
we got a dude who has a YouTube channel out in like where's he?
He lives in the Netherlands.
He lives in the
Yeah.
Netherlands.
Check
and
him out, Leo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just Leo.
Yeah, he's the
Does
homie
Shout
too.
out to
music.
Leo.
He's featuring on a song too that's
Yeah.
coming out. But yeah, we entered in the poll and we started smashing it with the promo. And next thing you know, we're like neck and neck with this band that's in the lead. And the next thing you know, we're 10 votes ahead of them. And the next thing you know, we're 75 votes ahead of them. And so we literally get called into the like tribunal. Like me and Daniel end up having to get on a group call with like 6 of these people who are organizing this festival. And they basically look at us and said, "You guys cheated." We're like, "What do you mean? How? Like, what did we do?" And they're like, "Well, it's obvious you guys just bought a bunch of bots and likes and followers and whatever." And you know, that's a whole separate deal. But we literally sat there and we're like, "Hey, we'll prove to you. We'll show you the DMs. We'll show you whatever." And they weren't really having it. They didn't seem very interested in the proof we had. So we proceeded to just say, "All right, well, fuck it. You guys are going to kick us out. That's fine. We're not going to like throw a big stink, but we're a new band and we're also not going to let you guys accuse us of cheating, you know, because that's horrible for your reputation." And
Absolutely.
we've always been collectively had the mindset of like, what is the fucking point of paying, you know, what's the point of having the plays if there's not real people behind them? That never makes sense to us. But point being, that whole thing kind of blew up. It ended up kind of fucking up their poll, and they had to restart the whole poll, and it's a whole bunch of shit. But Dying Oath was one of the bands that reached out to us and was like,
Yeah, many too. Shout out to all the bands that
Yeah,
reached
for
out
sure.
and were super cool about it.
but like we had a bunch of bands, including Dying Oath, reach out to us and be like, "Hey man, that was fucked up. They did y'all dirty. Like if y'all ever want, you know, like we upon talking to us, they could tell that we're not the type to like do a bunch of sketchy shit like that." So, but yeah, it was cool, man. They reached out and they were like, "Hey man, if you guys ever want to come play shows, fuck those guys." Blah blah blah. So it was nice.
Hey, at least you got your name out there too, you know.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I was about to say that's literally what I was about to.
We went from having like 2 shows lined up, and like one of them was at our buddy Aaron's, who's I see Aaron in the chat. What up, Aaron? But like, you know, one of them was with him, and one of them was at another kind of small venue. And then after that shit with the poll happened, it was like we had a show every weekend for the next like 2 months. Like it was great. But yeah, we were all just thought it was funny after the first couple days. I can't tell you how pissed off everybody else was though. Like my mom and my girlfriend were both so much more mad about it than I was. Like, don't call my son a liar. But yeah, man, that was a funny thing. But yeah, like you said, it ended up being a good thing, man. We got some contacts out of it. You know, like we got some Dying Oath hit us up and a couple other bands. So it ended up being a good thing. You know, they say any publicity is good publicity. So.
Yeah, they're good people.
Indeed.
Well, we got to get you up to the New Jersey, New York area.
Hey, I would love to do
Do you
that.
know Nailbite out of Pennsylvania? You ever heard of them?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to have an interview with them eventually.
Okay.
Nice.
I've been talking to them for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it's funny. It's a small world.
It really
What up,
is.
Blake?
It sure is.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's been interesting getting into like the South Carolina into things because it's such a different. There's such a different, just not better or worse, but there's such a different culture between like playing in like the Metro Atlanta area and then going to some of these kind of like backwoods venues, you know, in North Carolina and South Carolina and shit like that. Like the Atlanta shows are fun, but I feel like they're a little more structured. You know, it's a little more. But you get out in some of these other venues, it can get pretty wild. You can get pretty rowdy out there in the sticks. So.
Well, I see a big difference, you know, from going to shows up here in Jersey, shows down in Mississippi, and then in Atlanta. Everywhere kind of has their own atmosphere. Everything's a little bit different, but that show is great. I really enjoyed Furnace 41. I think we'll be back at that venue.
Oh, dude,
for sure.
Favorite venue
That's
to play so far.
Yeah, that is by far our favorite place that we played, man. I remember I can't remember his name, the owner of the place or the promoter at the place.
Bo. His name Bo.
Oh, yeah.
He's awesome.
Yep.
I remember he came out and did this whole spiel before we started, like when we were doing load in, because we opened, so we already had all our stuff on stage. But he got up there, and it's very easy to get to a venue and the promoter just kind of be like very flippant about everything and just not really give a shit. And it's like, okay, I get my door money and I get the bar tab, and I don't really give a shit what happens past that. But he made a point to come out and like talk to everybody before the set and be like, hey, our goal here is to make you sound good. Help us by not being complete fuck ups. This is a speaker. If you stand in front of the speaker, you will hear shit. If you don't, you won't hear shit anymore. Like, but he went through this whole like 10-minute thing about just, how to get the best sound, and, that they cared and were trying to make us sound good. And, same thing with Michael, the sound guy out there. He's a fucking treat to work with.
Shout out to Michael, man. Yeah, Michael was fucking cool.
I told him he broke my cardinal rule. I've always said, because I've been playing in band since I was about 14. I'm 25 now, so I've been around the block, so to speak. And I've always joked that you can't have a sound guy who's both like really competent at their job and also really nice. Like, you're either going to have a sound guy who's an absolute sweetheart that has no idea what he's doing, or you're going to have a guy who's a complete dickhead, but he will like make you sound like Jesus. Like, there's almost never any in between. But Michael was one of the ones that was like, oh, dude, you're nice, and like we sound great. Come back here, man. But yeah, they're a great little spot. I've had a couple friends play out there too. My buddies in Cascade played out there just literally, I think the weekend before we played. I think they had a show out there. So, but yeah, it's nice to be up near the Atlanta area without having to actually go like into the heart of the beast, so to speak. But Atlanta's cool because you got all that you got a lot of hip hop culture up there too. You got a lot of variation in the music. Whereas if you go into like some of these places in South Carolina, North Carolina, you end up struggling to find the what's the word I'm looking for here? The variation, in bills that you would find somewhere like Atlanta. In Atlanta, you can literally go downtown and you can catch, fucking Lil Baby doing like a hip hop show at one club, and then drive 10 minutes downtown and you can see like Amon Amarth doing Viking metal or some shit. There's
Nice.
diverse here. Whereas, you come out here to some of these other places and it's like, hey guys, you want to book a fucking metal band? They're like, you guys play any Journey? How about, you guys know any Chris Stapleton songs? It's like, no, not really.
Mm-hmm. So who got you into music in general?
I don't know.
You go first.
I don't know.
Yeah, you, Ari.
I don't think anyone specific really got me into music. I just grew up listening to like all different genres, really, between different family members. So I just kind of grew into it, and it became something that I leaned on in my later teen and adult years, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a buddy. I don't know about like music. I remember my stepbrother at the time showed me Slipknot when I was like 12, and I was just, or no, actually, I remember I got a laptop for Christmas in like 2008, 2009 maybe, and I went on Yahoo Music, and I saw the video for Left Behind by Slipknot, the one where they're in the abandoned house with like the meat and shit, and like pouring the dirty water into the cereal and all that. And I remember watching that and just being like, oh, I'm not supposed to be seeing this. This is fucked up. What? I'm scared but intrigued. And then I had a friend who did drumline in high school who was kind of like my older brother, and I looked up to him a lot. And he showed me, how to play a double stroke roll and a paradiddle and, a couple things. And after that, it was just, I was absolutely hooked on drums. So, and it's been a long time since then. What you?
Rush, definitely Rush. Stemmed from Rush through to Tool, and then like resurrected by Gojira.
Yeah.
Because I started to kind of hate, not gonna lie, I hated metal for a long time. Like a good 5-6 years, I couldn't listen to anything but like prog or mathy, weird Mars Volta, anything odd.
Yeah.
A Perfect Circle, Pussifer, anything that stemmed off of that area.
Mm-hmm.
But Rush was what I wanted to do. I wanted to be Geddy Lee, and then I figured out how hard that was. And I said, Justin Chancellor, he's cool too, so I'll figure that out.
He's
And then,
cool with less chops. I got
he's
that.
cool with less chop. And I've gotten, been able to catch up and play some Rush stuff, but definitely Rush.
Yeah.
I can't think of another band I was more into back then.
Like the fucking, what was that?
Nice.
The shit we were watching the other day. The two dudes.
I Love You Man.
Yeah, the guys from I Love You Man.
That's me in a movie.
It's
That's what I wanted to be. That was me when I was a kid.
Yeah, just pretending to be in a Rush cover band.
Put the headphones on and don't worry about what everything else sounds like. just groove.
But yeah, man, it's but it was funny. I was in the same boat as him for a while as far as like not really being into metal, because I played in like a prog metal band when I was younger, and then got out of playing in bands and just learned. I've learned a bunch of like production and audio engineering type stuff, and I was actually doing. That's how me and her met.
Yeah.
Was I was engineering and producing her R&B hip hop project.
Oh,
So I was
Nice.
doing, I was doing all the beats and production and vocal editing and shit like that for her, and then that kind of had a lull in it or whatever, and I was just really disillusioned with making hip hop and making R&B in general because it's hard to make any money, just like with anything in music. And then she approached me and was like, "Hey, you want to play drums in a band?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, I like that way more than fucking
Nice.
making trap beats all day. Like that shit's way more fun." But yeah, it's been nice to get back into it. It's been nice to get back into heavy music again because, like, I've had a lot of catching up to do. I just going like not listening for 4 or 5 years and then having to go back and be like, okay, what's the state of things now? Because it's different from when I remember back when it was all like,
Ginger wasn't a thing.
Yeah,
and I remember seeing Ginger Pisces and being like, my God,
Yeah.
like this is what I wanted.
Yeah.
In 2010, this is what I wanted.
But I remember back
Nice.
when it was all like, gent was the big thing back then. It was all the like Periphery and
Those bands are awesome, by the way.
yeah, no, I
I'm not
fucking
gonna play it.
oh no, but like it was just you had a situation where it was like there was like 10 or 15 bands that were really like pushing the envelope and doing interesting stuff, and then you had another 1,000 that were just exact carbon copy bedroom producers doing all the same kind of technical metal or whatever, and it just got so it got so diluted after a period of time. But now you're seeing like pretty inventive shit again. You're seeing like some like Ginger's a good example of that. It's like it's hard to find anybody else who really sounds like them,
yeah.
They
That's,
don't even sound like them.
Definitely.
yeah, they don't even sound like them.
That's what trips me out. They're insane.
Yeah.
Definitely up there.
They have a wide range. I love Ginger.
Mhm.
They're awesome.
Yeah, you go and listen to some of the tunes and you're like, oh, that's kind of, there's some reggae in there, some death
Mhm.
metal, there's some little bit of everything.
They're a little bit all over the place.
Yeah. And we try to
Song
do
for every mood.
Yeah, exactly. And that's our thing too with the material we've been writing. It's like, we don't consciously think about it. We just kind of, we end up starting with concepts a lot. We end up starting with like just a general, like a story or even a title for the song ends up being the first thing we come up with most of the time. And then we kind of write music that fits the theme as opposed to trying to do it the other way around. But, we try to have, we got some for people to like beat the shit out of each other in a mosh pit too. We got some that'll make you cry. We got some that'll, we try to cover the range of emotions. So,
Well, there's no mid ground. It's kind of like those two spectrums.
yeah, it's either like beat the shit out of someone in a mosh pit or like sob in your
Yeah.
bathroom. Like there's no sad or angry.
We're still working the middle ground.
All right, so this question is for all of you.
Okay.
Everybody that's here. Is there a song that you think describes you?
A song?
Yes, not your own. I'm saying,
Yeah.
Is there a song that describes you?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm going deep here. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Trying to think of like a. I don't even want to know what the fuck you're thinking right now. You don't even. Whatever it is, don't say it. But oh shit, man. I don't know. That's such a good question. I don't know.
It really is.
Stink Fist by Tool. 100%.
Like
That's not that bad. That's not that bad.
It could
That
be
song
worse.
has some deep meaning.
It
We're all
does.
desensitized to everything.
Yeah.
Stink Fist is like, this me. What you think about?
Yeah.
About that. I'm gonna stick to that.
They
Stick
like-
to it,
Hands in his butt.
Mhm.
I'll say Smother by Daughter.
That's a good one.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a really pretty song.
I'm gonna say like "With the Love in My Heart" by Jacob Collier, because it is
I knew it.
because it's a fucking because it's like a fucking it's just a it's like a 8-minute long schizophrenic mess of different genres and shit. So I think that pretty much that covers my musical mania that I have a lot of the time. So yeah, that's I'll go with that. That's a good question. By the way, I'm just gonna shout him out because fucking. It's not like he has 6 Grammys or anything, but everybody listen to Jacob Collier because he's really good. He's better than all of us.
All right, Michelle, you. What's your song?
My song. Oh, okay. Well, that's tough. I don't know. I have a lot, but I would say "Gypsy" by Fleetwood Mac.
That's a good song.
Okay.
It is not metal, but
Doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
deep in my rock roots.
Hey, don't feel bad. Mine's like fucking. Like I said, it's about 6 different genres and ain't none of them metal. So. What about you, man?
I'm gonna have to say Pop Evil, Torn to Pieces.
Okay. I'm not too familiar with Pop Evil. Hold on. Which one
I
is?
know a couple of their songs. I don't think I know.
Who's in that? What? That's like a super group, isn't it?
No.
Oh wait, who am I thinking of? Like doing research. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, no, I'm familiar with them. That just that name caught me off guard for a second. Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, it's weird. Music can either like define you or you define it, depending on where you're at in your life. Because it's funny because if you had asked me that question a year ago, it would have been something
It'd be
completely
totally
different.
Yeah.
Probably fucking like "Down in a Hole" by Alice in Chains.
I was
or
about to say,
something.
I've been like,
Down in a
some Joni
hole.
Mitchell song or something.
Yeah.
But she's just like way too sad. But we all kind of, I think everybody says, dude, we listen to everything. I listen to almost everything except country music. I think
Yeah.
that stands for most of us. Not even, and there's still some country music that
Yeah.
you can get by.
I fucking
I'm not
love
gonna sit
Sturgill
here
Simpson.
and Shit on that. There's nothing wrong with it. You guys can have everybody can have their country music. We can all live and coexist. Not
There's
kill
enough
each other.
room for all of us.
There's enough room for all of us. But yeah, I think that's another thing. Everybody kind of listens to everything.
Yeah. I think Mac asked a
That's
question.
Pickles.
Oh, Pickles, yeah. Any chance of live streaming a show for those of us stuck overseas but want to get amongst it? Yes, we're figuring that out currently. You see, I'll give you the little baby tour. We got.
I never see that with that camera either way.
Oh no, we see it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
But yeah, we got the whole setup. We got all this whole
Nice.
room basically dedicated. That's why we ended up. This used to just be like a garage or whatever, and then we ended up kind of converting the whole thing so we could do live stream concerts and do
Nice.
Nice.
just generally filming video content and making it look a little bit more professional, like guitar playthroughs and stuff like that. So once again, you can either go rent out a studio somewhere, or you can just remodel your whole garage with the help of free labor from your
There
friends.
you go.
Yep.
Provide beer and pizza, and then you just kind of take it from there. Just let what happens happen.
All right.
So
Another.
Oh,
Go
go ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so if people are looking to find out more about you guys, what's the best way to do that? What's the best place to go on social media, or what's?
I would say our Facebook probably has the most consistent
Yeah, it's the
upload.
most interactive.
Yeah.
currently.
We're trying to. We were talking to him earlier about wanting to get into more get on the TikTok side of things, because we've started to notice that that's about the only platform that you can actually get organic reach. You actually you get the push in popularity because the music's good or because the video's interesting, not because you paid to have an ad boosted or because you paid for an ad campaign or something like that. But yeah, Facebook, as of right now, Facebook's probably our best bet if you want to just, keep up with all the shit we post.
we got video from live shows on there.
Mhm.
We've got video, just stuff we've thrown together, memes, and all kinds of crap. That's mostly on the book.
Yeah, me and Daniel enjoy doing what we just call them metal edits, and we'll just take random viral videos and like dub over them with drums and like heavy guitar and shit like that.
We've dubbed one of our songs in there too. Dragonfly.
Yeah, but like it'll be like Papa John from Papa John's Pizza having a mental breakdown dancing to some trap song, and you just take the music out and then rewrite like a gnarly breakdown under it, and it's fucking hilarious.
Awesome. Well, we'll have to find you on TikTok.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a social media game's fun. You have to do everything now. You have to be your own video editor, your own social media manager, your own PR guy, your own. It's when we were doing that whole situation with the poll, we kept joking. We were like, all right, who's wearing the PR hat today? We kept trading it off. It'd be like whoever's going to be responding to people in the comment section. It was like, put the PR hat on. Don't call anyone an asshole. Like, be a professional to whatever degree we can manage that. So.
Sometimes you got to be, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just better to, yeah. Sometimes it's better to just bite the bullet, be the bigger person in some situations, and just tip your hat and be like, here you go, you can go ahead.
All right, this goes for everybody. What was the best advice you were ever given?
Oh,
I got this. Don't ever smell your hands after you leave the bathroom, even if the hand soap smells really good. People will judge the fuck out of you, man. It doesn't matter where you do it at. It's never okay.
I don't even know what to say.
That's fucking. I can't do that.
It's good advice.
Yeah, it really is.
I'll keep that noted.
Fuck, I'm trying to think of an answer to counterbalance that. I don't know, man. The same guy who got me into playing drums, he used to say this thing that was my mother is watching this interview right now. She's in the house and she just heard Daniel say that, and she just came to the window to say, "What the fuck?"
Hi, Mom.
She hopes she's given you some better advice than that over the years.
She's sitting here going like, "Look, you asshole! I've told you plenty of good shit, and the best you can come up with, don't smell your fucking hands." But but nah, man, the guy who got me into drumming, he used to say, he would say, "Love life even if it hates you." So that's basic, just fucking look for the silver lining in things, even when it seems like there isn't any. And I feel like he didn't know, at the time. He's passed away since then, but he didn't know at the time that I was gonna, pursue this as a career or whatever. But it ended up being like the best advice, because that's some shit you need to remember when you're doing, really any entrepreneurial freelance type stuff. Like, shit's gonna suck at some point. Like, you can glorify the DIY thing all day, but it's a lot of like late nights and fucking being, imposter syndrome and thinking you're not, when you do get some popularity or do get some notoriety, you're like, well, what the fuck have I actually done to deserve this? There's so many 14-year-olds on YouTube who can outplay me and like all this type of shit. And, you can get down on yourself, but it's important to sit there and like, remember that, like, even if we're not having the success we want or whatever, we're still extremely lucky that we get to like do this at all. Some people like, are working like a 9-to-5 or working an office job or some other thing that's like so absolutely soul crushing that they just have no time to pursue anything they're actually passionate about. And like, you have to sit down and remember that, like, you're really lucky to be able to even do it at all, even if it's not to the degree that you like to. I don't know. You got a quote, Ari?
Yeah, good luck on meeting.
Yeah. Oh God. I don't even know what to say.
Whomst the fuck eat ass?
Oh. You're the worst. I don't know. I can't really think of any advice that I've been given offhand.
Don't shit where you sleep.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that's a given.
If you're in a car going somewhere, only break one law at a time. If you're gonna do something stupid, put your seatbelt on. I don't know. That's a pretty good. I don't know. What do y'all got? Y'all got some good advice you've been given? You probably have something better than us.
Oh yeah.
The hand
I
smells
just
good.
said, follow your dreams and live with no regrets.
Yeah.
And then don't smell your hands. That's gonna stick with me now.
Hey, good.
You'll never forget it, I promise you.
Yeah.
Once you hear that once, you'll be like, that makes so much sense. You've probably done it and never thought about it. You probably walked out.
Well, I mean, it really it really does make sense, you know.
It makes sense, but
You either got to not do it at all, or you got to full send it. You got to walk out and go.
That's all I ever did. So stank on it.
Taste the flavors. Oh, my Bob's gonna have some shit to say to me after we get done doing this interview. Be like, you have a public reputation to uphold. Like, no, I don't. But yeah, it's good advice. You got any advice, Robert?
oh, I got plenty, but
Any?
I got plenty.
Yeah.
Don't eat yellow snow.
Nah,
Don't eat yellow snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like the
Yeah.
first rule. I think it's the first one that everybody learned. It's like a South Park rule. It's like, don't eat yellow snow.
Unless there's been like I don't know, a truck carrying lemonade.
No.
Yeah, probably not. There might be piss mixed in there. Who knows?
I don't even know how ice cream trucks are still legal, dude. Like, you sell candy out of the back of a van, you go to jail, but they can sell ice cream. That's almost candy.
The
It's
speakers,
weird.
they play the song.
The irony of it.
If you play the song, it makes it okay.
Yeah, just play the jingle. I'll be all right. Jesus.
You want to be in the interview, Mom?
I was
Hey,
saying that
Mom,
mom
you wanna
coming
be
back in the
Mom.
window. Everyone
Mom.
say hi to mom.
Mom,
Hi,
come here.
Mom.
Say hello to
Hi,
the interview.
Mom.
Hi.
Hi, Mom.
Hello.
Hi.
Are you disappointed?
Turn that back around. Thank you.
Oh, she's gonna kill me for that later.
Yes.
Oh boy. Sorry, I couldn't think of any good advice you've given me.
Hey, Dustin's advice was great.
Yeah, that's good advice. Daniel's was good too.
I will never unhear that.
Okay,
Yeah, man, I'm
so
lucky. Do what?
so I do this every episode. You can flip it around. You can ask us anything.
Okay. Oh God.
How long did it take you to grow the beard?
Good question.
I'm gonna say 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, that's not bad. I got this little patch right here that won't come in no matter what I do. I have horrible facial hair, but I don't know. Let's see.
How long have you guys been doing interviews?
Yeah.
How long have we been doing interviews? I'm going on almost 4 years.
Hell yeah, man.
You just do it just because, or like you're in a band previously? Were you in a band, or you just associated with bands? Like, how'd that all work out?
No, it was actually just a conversation at a karaoke bar.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
But
wow! I
just
didn't
like-
know that's how you started.
Yeah. What? Just
Well,
like nobody's doing this, and somebody should, or
Well, the main reason I started this was Matt Pinfield from MTV. I don't know if you would remember that. Well, I know Michelle would, but
Call
used
me
to-
old.
we're the same age, lady.
I know.
hey, man, I remember not the golden age of MTV, but I remember back when they actually still used to play music videos. So
Yeah.
Okay, so I used to run home every day after school to get the remote from my brother, so I would be able to watch MTV.
Mhm.
So Headbangers Ball and TRL and all
Hell
them,
yeah, dude.
like
Yes.
all the music shows.
Yeah, bro. I remember when they rebooted Headbangers Ball. back in like 2000. What was it, like the
Mhm.
mid 2000s, something like that? And they kind of brought it back on MTV2, I think. I remember
Yeah,
watching that shit all the time.
then the metal show and everything else.
Mhm.
So that was my thing. So I'm gonna say about 20. I'll say 20 years later, there was a conversation. Since I go to concerts every week, I was before COVID. I was at
Mhm.
Starland, PNC, wherever, once a week or maybe twice, depends on what was going on. I had a buddy that was going to do it with me, and it never worked out. So here I am.
Yeah. Hey, man, life, the currents of life will take you to strange places that you wouldn't expect, if you let them.
Yes, they do.
Was that the
Very
same
much
for
so.
you? Was yours just like being around bands all the time? Just right place, right time?
It was pretty much who I knew. Like, it was more the fact of just emailing every day.
Yeah.
You email every day, eventually somebody's going to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah, man. That's the same way we look at, most of the stuff is like you cast a wide enough net, you'll eventually catch something. What about you, Michelle? What got you started?
Well, this is my first time co-hosting with Rob, but we've known each other for almost 30 years. But I started about a year and a half ago, writing some rock reviews and blogs. I host a countdown for an internet rock station. So, I've been, traveling over the last year and a half a lot, going to see different bands, doing some interviews. I usually do, more write-ups than I do, on screen or, in
Mhm.
person, but venturing new things.
Hey, man, that's awesome. Like I said, somebody needs to do it, man. Somebody's got to, because we ain't getting much help from major publications or anything like that. Nobody's out here, oh, let's see what
Not
this.
yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But just in general, for for the genre, like for that subgenre or whatever, you don't have a whole lot of people. You're starting to see a resurgence in it, I think, just because there's a resurgence in everything. Everybody, whatever kind of music it is you like, you can find it in spades now. So it's better than how it used to be.
Yeah.
Downloading shit off LimeWire, fucking up my whole computer, fucking up like 3 computers. But yeah. So another one for you, Michelle. What's it been like? You said you're from the New York, New Jersey area.
Mm-hmm. Central Jersey. Yep.
Yeah. So what's it been like? Now that the whole COVID thing is finally starting to wane one way or the other. Like, I bet that's been nice being able to like actually have events and shit up there again.
It has been nice because at
Yeah.
first we were not opening up as fast as other places. So
Mhm.
that's how I started traveling for shows. It was like show withdrawal. So
Yeah.
I flew down to Biloxi, Mississippi for the Dirty 30 Fest, and I saw Kingdom Collapse, Silent Trust was there, Ignite the Fire, Adventurous, a couple of really awesome bands that I would not get to see up here.
Mhm.
And then I flew out to Texas, more Kingdom Collapse, got to see some more great bands. So it's been nice with COVID, because if it wasn't for COVID, I don't think I would be traveling to go to so
Yeah.
many shows, because I would have been doing it here. But it was nice to see the atmosphere in other places and the support that the bands give each other. I don't see that as much here as I
Yeah.
did, let's say, like in Grand Rapids. I went to see Hollow Front and A Virtue, a couple other bands, and I noticed there and down south there's more of a camaraderie among
sure.
the up and coming bands than up here.
Yeah. Well, I think it's that probably has to do with less stiff competition too. Like we don't look
Nobody
at
can gatekeep anymore.
Yeah, like we don't look at like it would be easy for us to look at like the Boys Incandescent as like competition. You know what I mean? It'd be like, oh well, man, if they any bill they get booked on, that's a slot we can't get. And it's like that's such a fucked up way to look at that. It's like, why wouldn't you? The tide rises all boats. So why wouldn't you try to, I don't know, be friendly? I mean, shit, man. We don't even have to like be, I mean, okay, take like Candescent for example. Like I know Daniel's not like super into like that style of beat down hardcore and all that shit, but it's like you can appreciate the musicianship, you can appreciate how fucking talented they are, you can appreciate like
Oh, they're a sick live show.
yeah, oh dude, they're fucking nasty live. We're hopefully whatever the next show we play, hopefully we're gonna actually book with them and get Braden to come up and do his vocal feature on the new single. So, but you know,
That'd be
it's
cool.
like what benefit is there to, you know, trying to fucking fight over
Ain't
scraps?
No reason to hate.
Right.
Yeah, no reason to hate. Don't be hating. But yeah, like you know, I think there's also a concerted effort to like manufacture scarcity of success within the music industry. You know, like it would be a lot of people fall into that trap of, like I said, thinking that like, you know, you get a spot on a bill, it's a spot that I'm not going to get. But there's enough to go around, man. Even around here, somewhere where there's not shit comparatively. Like you go to somewhere like New York or, you know, somewhere out in a more populated area, like say Denver or somewhere like that. Like, yeah, you're not going to have the same frequency of shows, but in my opinion, that's even more reason to be kind to people, because you're not going to, if we go and play a show with a band and we act like assholes and they're, you know, like, wow, those guys are douchebags, then like, we're going to play another show with them. Like, it's not this thing, like, you know, you could go up to maybe somewhere like New York or somewhere like that, and you could play a show with a band and then keep gigging for 5 years and never see them again. You know what I mean? Like, they're just coming in, coming out or whatever. But around here, it's like you got to build those relationships because, you know, they ain't going anywhere.
It's a small world.
Yeah, man. They ain't going
Oh,
nowhere.
yes.
But we've been lucky so far, man. We haven't really run into anybody in the shows we played who we were just like, man, what an asshole.
Yeah, our first show, we threw the guy in our comments right there, Aaron, and that was just a hole in the wall. Like we threw that together last minute just to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And I had like ended up getting like 80 people out there and throwing down. Like the pictures from it were amazing. Candescence, like that was the first time we got to play with them, and they showed out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she had gotten to play with them on a live set back at Ground Zero when she was doing her hip hop stuff. I think.
Yeah, it was like a mixed genre show, and I was doing my
Nice.
set, and they were one of the headliners on that show, I think.
But yeah, we totally went out into some an art gallery, an art gallery, and then stuffed it out. And the cops showed up 4 times, and we just kept playing it. It felt good. It felt like
Nice.
like it used to whenever you play. Just doing anything for the first time when you're younger.
Yeah, man.
First getting into gigging, you're playing those little the rinky dink hole in the wall. Don't step over there. There's glass. Like it wasn't that bad, but it was definitely a more like hands-on approach. Like, everybody was like, "Where's the sound guy? This is it."
Yeah, it was like, where's the sound guy? It's like
there's a PA.
I come out of the back room from setting up my drums. I'm like, did someone say something about a sound guy? I guess I'm the sound guy. Here, fucking scream in that mic. I'm gonna turn this knob and see what happens. Like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely one of the cooler things that come about that.
Yeah, man. And that was the same kind of thing, like what she was talking about with COVID, or like, just whatever situation to be, COVID or anything else, but like presenting opportunities that you wouldn't think it had.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it killed a lot of shit. I mean, COVID killed my fucking whole band that I was in, because we had just put out our first single. We played a sold out show at Smith's Old Bar in Atlanta on March 6th, 2020. The world shut down on March 9th. So we had about 3 days to ride that high of like, fuck yeah, man, we're really killing it. And then it was like, oh, by the way, that thing you've been trying to do for 20 years, like, yeah, fuck you. You can't do that no more. But yeah, like, that's it definitely, like the show at Aaron's was a good example of like COVID presenting, because the main reason we did that is because it was still kind of at the point where stuff hadn't completely, stuff hadn't,
legal.
Yeah, that was legal, but like stuff hadn't completely, venues were still having some trepidation about booking shows because, you never knew whether it was going to be like, well, everything's fine this month and then everything goes to shit next month. So you don't want to make all these commitments or whatever. I got a buddy who works with a booking company who's having the same problem. And, but it was cool to be able to do the thing at Aaron's, because we probably wouldn't have done that. We probably wouldn't have had to go underground like that had it not been for all that other stuff. And, I wouldn't trade that for the world, because that was
a killer.
That was
a show as a full group, and it was nasty. It was fun,
and it was a great way to get started. It was a good like warm up, for the 2 year and a half whatever that like nobody played shows, because we were all rusty as hell. But But yeah, man, it was fun. I had a, like you said, the cops getting called was funny.
I thought that was the best part. I'm not like going. I don't have an arrest record or anything like that. I don't go to jail. But like when cops start showing up and telling you to turn down, he was cool.
Yeah.
The cop was cool. He was just like, dude, it's loud. Yeah, man. No. We ended up having to close the door and had to tell everybody at the place. I was like, hey, we're about to all die in here. It's gonna be really hot. And everybody said, fuck it, send it. So we're all in there. We got pictures of people just like pouring water off their face, throwing down in bands in a little tiny corner over here, trying not to run into everybody. I had a guy let me hit him in the face while we were playing Bomb Track by Rage Against the Machines. Leaned into the face and was like, "Do it!" Like you can't. Not that would be like it's not what you. That's not what you shoot for. Like to the end of the thing, but that's definitely like worth the climb.
Yeah,
it's
man.
That kind of stuff. I think I would enjoy that more than being 20 feet back and playing a bigger stage.
Oh, for sure, man.
To have more people in a smaller space and just die.
More intimate, you know.
Yeah, that more intimate. You kind of you don't have anything between you and them.
Don't get me wrong. If somebody wants to book us to play to like 25,000 people, I'm not gonna like turn it down or anything. But I'd do that in a heartbeat. But I'm also cool with playing the shows to 50 people in the middle of some fucking random dilapidated place in the middle of nowhere. Like that's what it's all about. That's what it's always been about.
Just getting to play.
Some of the best shows.
Yeah, man. I mean, I remember
hole in the wall.
Or basement.
Yeah. Or hell, if you're down here in the South, if you go to the right kind of church, you can convince. Oh, dude. Oh, bro. I've seen some rowdy shit go down in the basements of churches. Because all you have to do is have one band that identifies as like Christian metalcore. Like it doesn't happen as much now, but back in the day, like 2014, 2015, I was playing in a band called Azure Towers, and we played a show in this little tiny Church of God in this place. It's called this little town called Alto. It's maybe got 400 people in it, and we had one band on the bill that billed themselves as like Christian metalcore. So they just apparently assumed that the rest of the bands were also going to be the same thing, and they let us pack out the basement of their church, and it was really cool. And they were all pretty chill because we're not assholes or anything, but like it was all fine until some of our friends started showing up to the show, and one of my friends pulls up and gets out of his like beat to shit truck and just like. He said something like, "You want to know how much I care about this fucking thing?" And I was like, "What?" And he just like smashes out his side window with a hammer. I don't know. And then, like everybody from the church was just standing in awe. Like
Georgia upholds its reputation.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Crazy fuckers.
Yeah, man. We might try to be cordial and all that, but there is a little bit of yee down there somewhere deep. But yeah, they were all just kind of standing there in awe of like, oh God, what have we done? What did we do? This is not good. But the show was great. Like, everybody was super into it, and there's something fun and sort of romanticized about, like y'all are saying, like playing one of these little hole in the walls that doesn't, you can go back and find a video of like Nirvana playing a place like that. Or you can go back a video find of like Metallica playing some like little shithole bar in like, the early 80s or whatever, and then just be like, oh man, so that's where you can get to the, you can make it to the stadiums from there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm chain smoking on this interview. I get nervous talking to people. Oh yeah, it's a fun ride though, man. I was so disillusioned with like just music and everything because I'd been making hip hop shit for about 4 years, and I'm very grateful for the situation I'm in currently with these guys because it's like, I was very disillusioned with music in general because I was just kind of like, man, I don't want to be doing what I'm doing. I don't have an outlet to do anything else, like I don't have a direct path to get back on stage it took me a while to realize that like the reason I was fucking unhappy all the time is because I wasn't actually playing music. I was clicking buttons on a computer. It's like, yeah, it's creative, and yeah, like I'm not downplaying that at all because personally I think making making like full arrangements electronically can be more difficult than writing like rock tunes a lot of the times. But you know, at the point where you're doing nothing but clicking on a computer, you might as well go get a fucking data entry job because that actually pays. You know, go work at a post office or something if you want to just sit there and click shit on a computer all day. But, you know, getting with them got me back into playing drums again and fucking, you know, getting out and being on stage. And that's what it's all about, man. Hearts and minds.
Speaking about stage, have you ever do you have any embarrassing stories?
She fell at Skylar Club. Like within the first 10 minutes of our set at the Skylar Club, she went to go
no.
and like, almost ate it off of the stage.
It always happens to Ari.
I stepped my cable out at
I'm
Ground
the most
Zero.
awkward band member.
But you fucking remember at Aaron's too, the little shitty amp that we had brought for her to play guitar out of.
Oh,
just,
Yeah, that was took a shit.
like we had literally sat here and like stress tested it at the house and like turn it on, get the signal going, and like smack it around, you know, and it was fine and it wasn't cutting out.
She's got this now. It's not nice.
Yeah, that's it.
we
Yeah,
bought
she
a full stack.
she went and overcompensated for the shitty amp. She was like, "Well, fuck you. I'm gonna buy 800 watts of fuck you." But yeah, we had that one. I haven't had any horrible fuck ups with this band yet. The sound going out at Furnace was like, that wasn't bad for me because I had in-ears. I had no idea that the sound was going out, so I was perfectly fine with that.
It actually went out in time though, at least.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was really weird.
Well, because it was the vibration from me hitting my kick drum, because I hit really hard, and the vibration from me hitting the kick drum was like shaking the laptop around and wiggling the cables loose.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't had one with this band, but I have the worst on-stage experience that I've ever had. I had a buddy who convinced me to go play a gig in Nashville on the Strip at it was Nudi's bar in Nashville. They're the longest bar in Nashville. That's a selling point. I didn't know if you wanted your bar to be fucking long, but apparently you do. But we got out there and we had one rehearsal. And I just for context, I've never been into like, not saying anything wrong with it. I've just never been into like classic rock, you know, like I was never the guy who learned the like Skynyrd songs or like learned the Led Zeppelin songs or anything like that. And so I don't understand the historical gravity of how important these songs are to people. I just don't personally get it. I understand it, but it's just not my thing. But at any rate, so he tells me that we have to learn 4 hours of material in a week. And we get out there and we do one practice, and it was supposed to be that we were going to do 2 or 3, but we get out there and we do one practice, and then they're like, all right, well, I guess we're going to call it, yeah, we'll hop in the car and drive 4 hours to Nashville tomorrow and get up there and play. And I'm just like, I don't fucking know all these songs. We haven't gone over any of this. Like, what the hell? And everybody else in the band had been playing together for like a year or two. So they had the, you know, the what do you call it? Symbiosis that like, you know, we have now. But at the time I was the odd man out. And man, I went up there and fucked up so bad. I fucked up songs that everybody knows the drum parts to. Like, you go up there and you fuck up like Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin. Like, it's not a thing where everyone in the crowd's going to be like, oh, you know, that was pretty good. They're going to be like, you didn't play the snare on the third thing, and now I hate you. Like, but I fucked up worse than I've ever fucked up in a show before. And that was the thing that made me like, and the whole culture in Nashville was just not my thing either. It was like, you know, you go outside and it's like, you got these people in there who are just like, all in there basically having a big circle jerk, pretending it's still 1950, and you know, oh, real country music, whatever. Okay. And then hey, look, I'm just saying, no, it's true. But they go in there and pretend it's 1950 and throw fat stacks at the band on stage, and then you go outside and there's some guy with a sign that says like, homeless veteran, please feed me, and he's like digging chicken strips out of the trash, and it's just like, man, fuck this. This whole shit's rotten to its core. Like, there's no fucking, I can't.
Pork, JT.
Oh, there's another one.
Circle jerks. But yeah, man, it just wasn't my thing. And that really solidified my decision to like, all right, no, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it my way. You know, like I'm not, because a lot of people think that's the only path to make any money is to like, you know, go out and play other people's music and kind of capitulate your own creative freedom for, or not capitulate, you know, whatever, your own creative freedom for a check.
We're not hating on cover bands.
No, dude, I fucking
Love cover bands.
Yeah, I fucking love cover bands.
Third Eye's awesome.
Yeah.
All those bands.
But it's just the idea that it's the only way to make money.
Nah, yeah, definitely.
Now, is it the easiest way to make money as a band? Hell yeah, dude. Like, I mean, you know,
You can nail it.
yeah, if you can kill them, then like you can go out and make a bunch of money being in a cover band. Like, I got a friend from Toccoa who, you know, even with the limited show opportunities around here, that's what he does. You know, for 75% of his income is like just go out and play, you know, the best of Skinner and you know, fucking AC/DC and all the other classic songs that everybody wants to hear. And I mean, we're not above it either. We're probably going to try to do some of that. Maybe not in a full band setting, but just kind of like, because I play guitar as well, and you know, so we can all hang on acoustic guitar and stuff like that. So we've even thought about going and playing some of the local like pubs and restaurants and shit around here, trying to, you know, make a little extra cash.
Yeah, get your name out. Awesome.
Without having to completely like, you know, it's a lot easier to drag 3 people and 3 acoustic guitars to a gig than it is to drag a drum kit, you know, that fucking thing. His whole like bass rig that's just made out of like the densest shit on the face of the earth. I don't even know what it's made out of, but
Your mannequin, you know.
Yeah, the mannequin.
Frank,
The
his name is
mannequin.
Frank. It's Mr. Frank. He does not have a last name. It's just Mr. Frank.
Mr.
His last name's Lynn.
Sure.
Frank Lynn.
Oh.
But now we got to get a better mannequin for the next show. We got to get
one that bends at least.
yeah, we got to get one that can like be
Probably
broken
just get a
down.
Gumby. Would y'all watch a Gumby? I think Gumby would be
Like a
There
giant
you go.
Fuck yeah, like a giant
Wacky waving
Gumby. dude.
You could
inflatable
curve
chicken.
the arms to make him hold the guitar too.
Yeah,
That'd work.
exactly. There's versions of him holding the guitar, so I'm sure you could get it done.
But yeah, it was funny. My girlfriend is real big into like cosplay and leather crafting and stuff like that, and so she makes a lot of you know, she'll make like skirts and armor and chest plates and all that type of shit. And so we just have like mannequins laying around my house, which is
Oh, then you're set.
Oh, you're set.
absolutely fucking terrifying when
That
you
shit's the
know
worst, dude.
when you are a little sleep deprived and you walk in your living room at 3 a.m. to try to lay down on the couch, and then there's just something standing in the corner. It's kind of, we literally had to banish Frank to our closet and out here because we had left him in the corner back here by Ari's amp. And even though me and Daniel are the ones that put him there, every single time we'd walk out into the garage, there was that initial like, oh shit, what's that? And, oh, hi Frank. But yeah, man, we gotta get one a little more travel friendly.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
He's a chunky boy.
He's a big one, man. That mannequin is tall. People were coming up in the middle of the set. That's another thing it was kind of cool to get pictures of, like you were talking about. People were like coming over and looking, and I remember turning over because I barely noticed it. I was so into what I was doing, but I remember looking over and seeing somebody like throw their arm around him and then get down and take a picture.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, dude.
And hey, man, I mean, you know, we're not all about like, you know, I wish that we had the balls to be like Gwar or like Slipknot or something like that, and just have like just unapologetically be like, here's our fucking gimmick. We don't give a shit whether, you know, you think it's goofy or not. Like, this is what we do. And unfortunately, we all care just a little bit too much about public opinion, so we don't want to go full gimmick.
Not yet.
The mannequin was a good counterbalance. It was like, you know, that gives, and it proves our point. I'm really glad to hear that somebody actually told you, like, hey, you need to go see this band. They have a fucking mannequin on stage.
Right. We were in the other room, and someone
Yeah.
said you have to go in there. So we went in, and we were like, wow. And then we had more people come in. Me and my friend went to go get other people. So you know, it was.
Yeah, I told you, man. Decisions made off inebriation aren't that bad all the time. I feel like that was my.
Oh man, we should fucking get a mannequin. That'd be
That was
hilarious.
that's how that went. We were sitting like right over there, and it's like, you just get a mannequin.
Bro, that'd be fucking hilarious.
I feel like that works.
And then like the day of the show, I like got him out of the closet, and we were like, oh, we're really doing this? Like, yeah, we're really doing it. But you know, it ended up being a good thing. Like that's another one of those things. It's like, you know, shitty situations end up breeding, you know, good
Right.
things that you wouldn't necessarily think of in the first place. Like how JT's just like bork, bork, bork.
Love you, JT.
So is he going to be at every show now?
Oh man,
It's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of seeming like it's going to be a thing.
yeah.
Even if it's just a stage prop at this point, you know, it's looking like it's sticking, especially if it's made its way, you know, all the way there. And then that story's traveled to fucking New Jersey now.
Yeah.
That's right.
You gotta kind of ride that one out. We'll be the band with the mannequin or the people who stand like mannequins and play. Or,
Well, and the thing is, it's like on a strictly practical level, we'll pretty much always be running tracks because we have more layers of guitar. We like to do a lot of multi-layered kind of intricate stuff, and we have more layers of guitar than we have people to play. And we're sure as hell not trying to add another 2 people to the band because, you know, it's hard enough getting 3 of us to one place as opposed to 5. But like, you know, or there'll be a situation where it's something extremely technical or really fast and Ari has to sing, you know, a complex passage over it or something. So we need somebody to be able to like fill out not just the rhythm part, but also the lead part. So even if we do, you know, if our guitarist comes back and wants to, you know, continue doing it, or if we find somebody to fill in for the time being or whatever, even if we get somebody else, we'll probably still be playing the tracks to, you know, do piano and backing guitar and shit like that, or backing vocals. So yeah, we'll probably have a mannequin on stage because we'd rather draw attention to that, like instead of trying
that was
to.
the initial. That was the initial point of it, because I didn't want to just run them. I was like, there's got to be something.
Yeah,
we in that place to be like, yes, we acknowledge that there is an entire fucking lead guitar player missing right now, but we can't really not play the shows. You just
because you know, if you go up there and you have like an absolutely ripping guitar solo playing, and it's just, and there's one person on stage with a bass and a drummer, and there's just rhythm guitar and then just a nasty fucking sweep picking solo and all this, it's like you might look at that and go like, oh well, they just were too lazy to you know, they played this shit in the studio and couldn't replicate it, so here we go, here's, you know, now they're just using the backing tracks live. But we wanted to just be like, just completely draw attention to it and be like, no, yeah, we definitely, there's phantom guitar on stage, but we're gonna, you know, commit to it and make a point to like make a bit out of it instead of, you know, make lemonade out of lemons or whatever.
Yeah, took a negative and made it a positive.
Indeed.
Since you talked about that you're going to start doing TikToks, maybe you should use him in the TikToks.
That was a very good idea.
Frank's the guy.
Frank, we just make a whole channel dedicated to Frank.
Like, where's Frank today? Put him in a field somewhere, or.
Oh, dude, that's actually great. That is fucking.
Like Carmen Sandiego, you know. Like,
where in the world is Frank today?
You know.
Hell yeah, man! I'm taking that.
Like I know there's Google Image and everything else, but you could have fun with it.
Yeah, man, for sure. That'd be fucking. Yeah, we're gonna sit down and brainstorm that tonight. That's gonna be a good idea. Cool. That'll be our first piece of TikTok content.
Dress him as Waldo, or you know.
Yeah. It's funny, man. We talk about that too, like trying to, because you know we consider ourselves to be a prog metal band. And I think the new music's a lot more indicative of that than Omen was. But, you know, I don't know. It's a fucking, it's a clusterfuck. But, oh, 1 second.
Is he bringing Frank?
No. You guys want to see Frank
right now?
You get Frank out? I'll get Frank out here. Hold on a second.
Yeah, we'll grab Frank real quick.
We didn't like light him on fire like we did.
Yeah, Frank's banished to the closet currently, but Daniel will grab him out real quick.
All right, so we get to say hello.
Yeah, we'll at least say hi to Frank. Speaking of people who want to say hello, hi Osiris. My dog has entered the chat.
Aww.
What's up, dude? Here, say hello. We're having a bunch of cameos on this. Can you even see him? He's so black, he just blends in. Come here, dude. Hello,
there
doggo.
he is.
Hey. Good boy.
Oh yeah, man. He's the hit between him and there's two. It's funny. We have 2 band mascots. We were out here playing one day, and these 2 identical white kittens just randomly showed up in our garage, and we were like, yeah. My mom went. Yeah, it was like the first or second time we ever even played together, and so they just randomly showed up, and you know, so we gave them some food and whatever, and they've just kind of stuck around, and they'll literally come in here and just hang out while we're doing band practice and stuff like that. So pretty cool. We need to use them for the content farm. What are you fucking doing over there? Oh.
He's saying hello.
Yeah. Oh, here he comes. Oh no, Frank's in the sunroom now.
I'll be back.
Yeah, Daniel's gone AWOL looking for Frank, but in the meantime. Oh, Brooke said Milo Beans is upset that he was left out. That's Ari's. That's Ari's dog.
Oh.
It was funny. Daniel made him because we didn't want to have to. We had like a communal computer down here in the band space that we would use to do our Facebook posts and stuff.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to have to like stay logged into our private account, so Daniel made a whole Facebook account for Ari's dog, and that's her dog is an admin on the Enemy Within Facebook page.
Oh, there you
Nice.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, do we have Frank's head somewhere? Oh,
I got it.
okay.
Works to you. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, we'll
Can I give him
also
a shirt?
we'll also use this opportunity to plug our merch that we have. We got these things. Yeah, here, take that one off. Let me. I'll show. Oh, let's see that yee ass haircut.
Yeah.
Got these guys. We just got
Very
in.
cool.
That's
We got these beanies, which are hand embroidered. Pretty sick.
Ooh,
Nice.
very nice.
We got stickers somewhere.
Yeah.
We got t-shirts that you'll see in just a second when Frank dons one. But yeah, man, that's been our big thing, was just trying to take the winter months to write and get all our shit together as far as having,
Nice.
because that was kind of our thing, was like we didn't want to go play like too many shows before we had. My big thing was I didn't want to play any shows before we had something to. Because the last thing you want to do is have. The last thing you want to have is like.
Sorry, dude.
That was just
The last thing you want to have is like you go to a show and everybody loves your shit and they're like, where can we hear more? And you're like, nowhere. Actually, oh, can I buy a t-shirt? Nope. What about a poster or a sticker?
Where is
Mm-mm.
ours?
No.
We never had on.
We never had one.
Oh.
We just had long sleeves on the last time.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought he had all.
does he still have the same cigarette in his mouth?
Yes, he does.
That's fucking.
He's the Marlboro Man. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Get Marlboro in until the end of the movie, and then let that shit up before he dies.
Well, now everyone's here. Now it feels like family.
There you go.
There you
Hi,
go.
Frank. Mr. Frank.
Mr. Frank.
He's a real stoic. He's quiet. He has a lot of contempt for everyone else. He's definitely the biggest asshole out of the band.
This is fucking creepy. I already don't like this.
We've officially freaked ourselves out now. It's like, dude, what's really going to be fucked up is if one of y'all see him move in the background, y'all better tell us. He's going to turn his head. But yeah, man, we're definitely for as serious and dark as our music can be, we definitely don't take ourselves very seriously. Like, we're just a bunch of goofballs trying to fucking do the same thing everybody else that's doing what we're doing is trying to accomplish. So, that's the thing, man. It's so important to put your personality out there too. You can't just unless you already have some stature or whatever, you can't just post the music and expect people to fuck with it on the basis that it's good, because there's so much good music now. You almost gotta figure out how to market your personality as well as marketing your the actual content itself. So
Yeah.
And we have no shame. We'll do whatever. We'll sell our souls for not a lot, actually. The price is pretty low.
Baked beans, dude.
We're selling my soul for 2 cans of baked beans.
Yes, please.
Hey, Ariana, it's patent. Yeah, man.
So, do you have any messages for your fans?
Thanks, first of all, for giving a shit at all, because it would be very easy not to. Fucking stay tuned, because we got a bunch of cool shit coming out. I can honestly say, and I think I speak for everyone when I say that, in all our years of doing this, because we've all been around the block a time or two, in all our years of doing this, I'm way more proud of the shit that we have done in the last couple months than anything else I've ever written. It's honestly some good shit. And yeah, buy the merch. Also, we're gonna have the store We should have had that before because we don't always have our shit together. But probably like in the comments, because y'all are going to post this as a video on demand on Facebook, right?
It's already on.
Okay, cool.
This is live.
But yeah, we're probably going to go set up the we're going to go set up the band. We're going to set up our Bandcamp, get Omen on Bandcamp, and then link our merch store to that. So we'll probably throw that down in the comments after, probably tomorrow after the video gets reposted or whatever. So.
If you've seen us live, you dug any of the shit that we did, you need to go check Candescence out.
Yeah.
And all these other bands as well.
Yeah, man.
Like War to Wind's another really good one out of Greenville.
Mm-hmm.
They've been around for a while, but they kick ass live. Their singer's another one of these dudes you'd never look at and think could belt, but he's blow your mind.
Cleansing of the Temple too.
Cleansing of the Temple.
Gavin is one of the hands down one of the best people I have ever just even known vicariously through people.
Yeah.
He takes care of so many of the bands in the local area and watch out, making sure that they have shows and making sure that they have equipment and everything else, and just kind of like being a
big brother,
yeah,
especially for some of the younger folks, because
Absolutely.
we're fucking ancient as far as like
Local scene
as far as the
bands.
local scene bands go. We're all 25, 26, 27, and like we end up going up there and it's a bunch of 17, 18, 19-year-olds, and we're like, oh man, I remember that.
But yeah, definitely a shout out to those guys more than anything.
Violent Rays too. That's another really. They were at Furnace. I don't know if you caught their.
They
set.
were. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were fun. That their singer fucking blew me away, and their guitarist. He was fucking.
Talking about little dude.
Yeah, bro, had some fucking
man.
soul, man. Like we saw that pedal board and the beard.
Yeah, the old school. I seen his box pedal, and I was like, he's about to rip some shit.
Yeah, man, we saw
no way you don't get a box wall and commit to that style of wall and not kill it.
Yeah,
It's
man.
so easy to fuck that up,
But yeah, man, we've been lucky. We played with a lot of good bands, and it's fun, man. More to come. That's all I can say. More to come. Pretty soon. Look out on the Facebook page and all our socials for fucking like really dumb memes, and then the occasional. It's either going to be like something really stupid or something really well put together. It'll never be anything in between.
Can't wait.
Michelle, do you have anything else?
I just want to say thanks for having me on, Rob, and thanks to
Anytime.
you guys, the Enemy Within, for chatting with us.
For sure, y'all. Thanks for having us. Thank you for being our first like legit video interview. It's been fucking awesome. Y'all had awesome questions, and like we just appreciate the support and everything. So
say bye, Frank.
say bye, Frank.
Bye, Frank.
Bye.
Give him a little.
Oh, that's fucked up. It's flipping y'all off.
Oh.
Oh, Frank.
And with that, we will bid you guys adieu. Thank you again for having us, y'all.
No problem. Have a great night.
You too,
You
man.
too.
Take it easy.